I think that some folks who voted to increase the debt ceiling 7 times for President Bush are really playing games with our economy's future and threaten our recovery. I believe that all of us in Central Texas have a big stake in what's happening here. We've been fortunate in Central Texas, but our economy could be slowed too by a failure to deal with this problem. It's as if they're demanding a ransom. They voted to do this in a one-line bill one time after another. Now they're insisting that programs that they've never really supported, like Medicare and Social Security and educational opportunities for our young people, be slashed. I'm opposed to that, and I really appreciate the input I've received from people in Central Texas opposed to it also.
What do you think of Governor Parrish that was overblown? What do you think?
Oh, well, I think there could be international complications as a result of this. Confidence in the full faith and credit of the United States of America, which has always been there, the top, safest security, now jeopardized by this extremism and these ransom demands. Governor Perry, he's a fellow who's relied heavily on federal support at the same time he's complained about getting it. What I hear from my neighbors is they'd like us to work together to try to resolve this problem. The problem I have on that is that many of the people who were elected to come to Washington last year were elected on a platform of not working together. It is difficult to agree with people who refuse to be agreeable. I believe we need balance in the budget. We need new revenues from closing tax loopholes with the bill that I introduced this past week. We ought not to place on those in greatest need, our seniors, our young people, all of the burden of balancing this budget. There need to be some new revenues by closing corporate tax loopholes and other gimmicks. I do not believe that the Boehner bill that we will vote on today is a fair bill. It places all the burden on those least able to pay. I oppose that bill. I hope that the Senate will defeat it, and then we can move to some final negotiations to extend the limit, protect the full faith and credit of the United States without yielding to the ransom demands that there must be a cut in Medicare and Social Security.
I guess you subscribe to the notion that a lot of your Democratic colleagues have put out that what's been holding up this process is like a fringe, group of Republicans, a lot of the
Well, the Tea Party is very strong within the Republican Party. In some cases, they defeated primary opponents in the Republican primary on the grounds that the Republican office holder was just too reasonable. That's who we've tried to reason with to get to protection of the full faith and credit of the United States, and they keep insisting on cuts to Medicare, Social Security, and other vital educational social service programs. We cannot yield to their ransom demands. There is an easy way to do this. I hope with the deadline approaching, with the consequences so severe, that they will realize we must respond to protect the full faith and credit of the United States, and that we can deal with their demands to wreck Social Security and Medicare at a later time. It should not be done as part of this bill.
Okay, my last question is, given how tumultuous and kind of nasty this process has been, once it's all said and done, what do you think it's going to mean for partisanship, here on the Hill, and the relationships between both, sides and the president?
It is a difficult time, a challenging time that our country is going through. Some people were elected to be here to be against everything, and we will have to continue to contend with them to try to see any area of common ground, but we don't have to yield on that social contract that goes back to the days of Franklin Roosevelt for Social Security and to Lyndon Johnson on Medicare. There are some programs that our Central Texans are counting on that are just too valuable, too vital to yield at this time.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, I think I said earlier, I really do appreciate the calls, the thank yous that we've been getting. They are really important in the work we do. To hear from people in Central Texas, it does make a difference to contact us and let us know how you feel about this issue. So I encourage people to continue those contacts.
Let me ask you this, and the president did tell everyone to call their local lawmakers. Have most of the calls you've been getting been positive ones or negative?
Most of them have been. They're mixed, opinions are mixed throughout our community, but most of the calls we've been getting have been saying, find that reasonable balance that includes revenue. Don't put all the burden on those least able to pay. And many people have been just calling to say, thank you for defending Social Security and Medicare. We cannot afford to sacrifice them.